What stops people from rattling my cage? This gun in my hand. Undefeated hero by virtue of the fact that he carries a gun, Falk Zildjian wrestles with a burly hoodlum at the rear entrance of the city's largest entertainment venue, Parabola Square Garden.
I don't care if you are a crime fighter, Zildjian. You can't just elbow your way into the backstage door without paying your 4 bits.
And I'm telling you, I was invited by one of the participants. Petra Wojciechowicz.
Hey, lay off, Murgatroyd. Who's gonna pay to come inside if they can stand out here and watch wrestling for free?
Regina, I'm sorry, ma'am. This guy's trying to muscle his way in the back door with some story about a city official inviting him.
It's okay. He means me. Petra Wojciechowicz. County clerk and registrar of deeds, remember?
Oh, right. Hey, no hard feelings, Zildjian? I gotta get inside.
No, it's okay. I haven't had a good tussle in the last 4 or 5 episodes. Say, Petra, thanks for inviting me. It's funny how that guy mistook you for Regina, the queenpin of crime. And then he tapped the side of his nose when you mentioned being the county clerk. What was that all about?
He must have confused me with Regina because we have similar body shapes. Plus I'm wearing this luchador mask. I got a match tonight.
Well, I'd say you look luchadorable. You know, this is how you start down the path to becoming a crime fighter. First you try on a mask for a masquerade ball, or you play the donkey-headed guy in A Midsummer Night's Dream, just for fun, just for a minute, just to see how it feels. And then before you know it...
No, the life of a crime fighter is not for me, Falk. Now the wife of a crime fighter I could go for.
The whole city would fall apart without you as county clerk, Petra.
Why would I have to quit my job?
Well, you know, you wouldn't keep working after you got married, would you?
Oh, boy.
Now what's all this about corruption in the world of professional wrestling?
I thought you should see it for yourself, up close. Come inside, I saved you a ringside seat.
That guy in the ring, isn't that the guy I was just...
Murgatroyd. Yeah, he's a wrestler who moonlights as the backdoor bouncer.
I noticed his technique seemed pretty good. Now I remember where I saw him before. Wasn't he in that Wallace Beery wrestling picture?
Could be, I don't know.
Wow, the crowd is really loving it.
This is just a warm-up. Wait until the match actually starts.
In this corner, in the purple trunks, hailing from San Bernardino, California, Murgatroyd!
I could dwell on the ways I'm gonna kill you, Victor, but all you gotta know is how much I hate you. This job used to be fun, but then you came along and it turned to garbage. The garbage rubbed off of you.
And in this corner, in the green unitard, hailing from parts unknown and comprised of parts unknown, Frankenstein.
The announcer got his name wrong. That's Frankenstein's monster, isn't it?
No, that's Victor Frankenstein, the chemistry student from the University of Ingolstadt in Bavaria. His monster is even bigger and uglier. He funds his experiments with the money he wins from wrestling.
Move to your corners, gentlemen. When the bell rings...
Am I not given a chance to respond? I have not yet taunted him in return.
Sure.
You, Murgatroyd, why are you so hostile? I intend to rip your face off and hang it on the wall of my game room as a trophy. But it is nothing personal, you see. It is just business. I hate you with a burning passion, more than anyone I've ever known. And those of you in the audience, do you hear this? He has a passion for me, right? Why the hate, brother? We are just competitors. Colleagues, as you might say. I hate working with you, schlepping from town to town, sleeping in 4-bit motels, washing our own costumes. Then if I get hurt on the job, I'm out the door. Nobody to pay my hospital bills. And what kind of job can I get after that with an untreated injury? Who's going to support my Aunt Gertie? These are not for me, your grievances. I am subjected to the same harsh conditions that you are. Is there no one else you should feel anger towards? Should we not work together against our common foe?
We have other matches to get to, guys. Somebody ring the bell. And... wrestle.
What's going on? Why is the crowd so quiet?
So they can appreciate the artistry.
I don't understand.
That's the difference between amateur wrestling and professional wrestling. Professionals are silent. They can suppress all those grunts you hear when amateurs are fumbling with each other.
Look out, Murgatroyd! Get up!
And the winner is Frankenstein!
Let's move backstage so we can talk. I don't want anyone else to hear.
While Falk and Petra do whatever they're going to do backstage...
Hey, we're just talking.
Sure, it's none of my business. But this word from our sponsor is literally our business.
Are you getting ready to launch your career as a costumed hero, but need to develop your fighting skills first? The Waning Academy of Wrestling is the place to start. Hi, I'm Brutes Waning, wealthy playboy, philanthropist, and president of Waning Enterprises. Whether you're trying to scare enemies by dressing up like a flying rodent, a mythical beast, or an 8-legged bug, you'll need to know how to fight. Not all of us can afford to travel to monasteries in the Far East to learn martial arts and develop our mind and body to perfection. I mean, I can. A surprising number of heroes can. But I didn't. I'm just a carefree, wealthy playboy. Not to be confused with Matban, the superhero who was banned from wrestling for being too brutal. Where was I? As you're putting finishing touches on that costume, you'll want to prove yourself. Maybe by winning 100 smackers when you last 3 minutes in the ring with a beefy professional wrestler. Are you ready for that fight? Need a few pointers? Or maybe a few seasons of training? Come on down to the Waning Academy of Wrestling. Our top-of-the-line gym can withstand use and abuse by heroes with moderate super strength, and the lead-lined reinforced steel lockers in our private locker room will keep anyone from discovering your secret identity or making off with your super crime-fighting gadgets. That's the Waning Academy of Wrestling. If you wanted to make it an acronym, I guess it would be WOW. We'll just stick with the full name, and I'll repeat it again so you can't get it out of your head. The Waning Academy of Wrestling. Not affiliated with Matt Ban or the series of young people who have filled the role of his sidekick, Roberta.
We now return to Rats in a Cage Match, episode 99 of This Gun in My Hand. Falk and Petra speak backstage at Parabola Square Garden.
Frankenstein was right. These wrestlers are like rats trapped in the cage. When someone shakes the cage, the rats don't understand who's causing their injuries, or maybe they know they can't reach their true enemy, so they bite each other.
I don't know if it works that way in real life. Sounds like the myth about frogs not jumping out of a pot if you turn up the heat gradually.
That's just ignorant. Deep fried and battered is the only way to prepare frogs' legs. All I'm saying is workers get ground down by the system and they direct their animosity towards each other instead of where it belongs, towards their bosses.
I think you're taking that opening exchange between Murgatroyd and Frankenstein too seriously. Have you considered they might not mean what they say up there? They're just working the crowd?
That's a cynical view. These are athletes, not hucksters.
Falk, bless your heart. They're both. If they weren't, they wouldn't sell tickets.
Maybe he was working the crowd and speaking how he felt. I still get the impression they're like rats in a cage.
I get it. You worked the episode title into the dialogue. Can we move on?
No, that's not the full title.
Rats in a Cage Match?
There we go. Now before I plan my next steps, I need some background. I know there's an alphabet soup of regional guilds for wrestlers. Who controls this one?
They're not guilds. That makes it sound like something organized by and for the benefit of workers. In wrestling, these groups are called promotions. Little traveling shows put together by bosses with enough money to lease venues, pay for equipment, traveling expenses to get wrestlers from one town to another. These aren't the kind of palookas with law degrees who can pick out the malarkey in their contracts. Wrestlers get a raw deal, even if their gross pay is good. They get stuck paying hotel bills or paying a portion for the venue, or they have vague extra fees taken out of their paychecks. It's a way for bosses to claw back some of the money they paid out.
Naturally, when gangsters and crooks run a thing, they'll set it up that way.
That's just the straight bosses. The organized crooks get wrestlers hooked on jazz cigarettes and make them fix matches. Anybody refuses, the boss threatens their family.
Horrible. Who's in charge of this one?
Let me tell you about all the groups around the tri-state area. The biggest promotion is called the WWF. That stands for Wrestlers with Fangs. Bloody matches between vampires, werewolves, and animalistic shapeshifters.
I was going to ask if they're really supernatural creatures, but there's no need to ask if things are on the level when we're talking about professional wrestling.
The WWF is so popular, schools have started providing litter boxes for kids to pretend they're animalistic shape-shifting wrestlers.
Incredible.
There's also a telephone hotline where suckers can bet on wrestlers with fangs. It's called Fang Duel. The other popular promotions are Glow, which stands for Gorgeous Lizards of Wrestling, and AEW, Alchemically Electrified Wrestling.
I've heard of that one. Instead of the wrestlers arguing in front of the audience about how tough they are, alchemically electrified wrestlers argue about whether or not they should collectively join the International Brotherhood of Electrical Villains.
And the last big promotion in the tri-state area is Raw.
Let me guess. RAW stands for Rabid Animal Wrestlers. Rancid Alchemist Wrestlers? Rain Dancing Aquatic Warriors?
No, it's not an abbreviation for anything. Raw is a bunch of wrestlers who can't afford accessories like talcum powder, so they tend to be visibly chafed.
So which one is this?
It's WWF.
Well, why did you tell me about all those others? I didn't need to hear that.
No, but the listeners did.
Who's the crook at the top of the ladder of WWF?
You mean Hacksaw Drac Bloodworth?
No, not the literal ladder they used in the last cage match. I mean the boss of the WWF.
Oh, that would be the youngest brother in the Green Street crime family. They used to call him Kid Green Street, but there's a story circulating about how he disemboweled a rival, so now they call him Kidney Green Street.
Does he have a daughter named Maria? No, I'm thinking of a different disemboweler. Go on.
My match starts after this next one, so I'll get to the point. Kidney Green Street is a wrestler himself. He does the contest shtick, where anybody from the audience who can last 3 minutes in the ring with him gets $100. Most of them are ringers paid to take a fall so he can look tough. Tonight, you can get in the ring as a contestant. You just have to get him in a hold and drag him off to jail afterwards. Plus, you'll win cash and get good publicity from it.
Petra, you should know by now I don't do what I do for fame or money.
Yeah, I heard that on your syndicated radio show, while I was wearing my official Falk Zildjian fedora. Never mind. Get out there and get in the ring. I gotta powder my nose before my match.
I know it's best to take out this guy Green Street, but the result will be a power vacuum. Some other crook will step in and continue the same corrupt practices. Maybe someone worse, like Regina, the queenpin of crime.
No, this wrestling thing is small potatoes. Regina wouldn't waste her time on it.
You don't realize what a freakishly oversized ego she has.
Regina's not
She'd
that...
love to take over something like this. I'm surprised she isn't already involved somehow. Who's your opponent in this match? If she's in a mask, it could be Regina.
It's fine, Falk. I know who I'm up against. We've fought before.
Should you even be in the ring with any of these supernatural wrestlers? What if she bites you?
That's sweet. You're worried for my safety.
Sure, I'm a crime fighter. I want to keep everyone safe.
Well, I got an ace up my sleeve. I rubbed garlic and wolfsbane all over my body. She'll manhandle me, but she'll never bite me.
Oh, that's a relief. I was wrestling with my conscience. Whether I should tell you about the merits of perfume or deodorant or just soap.
You don't have much time. Get out there and climb in the ring.
I'm going.
Any takers? Do we have any other takers for the big contest? 100 clams to any mug who can stay upright in the ring with... Yes, it looks like someone is climbing the ropes. Falk, are you sure you want to do this?
That's right, Bill. I'm taking that challenge.
If you say so, it's open to all comers. In this corner of the square circle, undefeated hero by virtue of the fact that he carries a gun, Falk Zildjian! And in this corner, stepping into the ring, the most dangerous wrestler in the tri-state area.
The Octo-State area?
What are you doing? Petra, if you want to act as my cut man or manager, you have to keep out of the ring so we can start the match.
I won't be your manager, Falk. I'll be the end of you.
Wait, you're not Petra? Regina! What have you done with Petra?
She's safe, unlike you.
You must have stolen her costume and mask. Petra was right. You do have similar body shapes. I can see why Murgatroyd mistook her for you earlier. Tell me where she is. It's so weird when you don't get grunting feedback from the other person you're struggling with.
Oof! Because I'm a professional. The only sound I make in the ring is me hitting you and you hitting the floor.
This is no fair. I'm trying to be a gentleman, but I don't know where to put my hands.
You should have put your hands right there to protect yourself. Then you wouldn't be doubled over right now.
Referee? Where's the referee?
He's off somewhere counting that wad of cash I gave him, silly.
That was a low blow. If it's information you're looking for, I'll answer your questions in exchange for Petra's freedom.
I'm not stupid enough to prompt you with any questions that'll let you reply with your gun. You're finished, Zildjian.
Do whatever you want to me, but don't hurt Petra. She doesn't deserve it. Let her go.
Oh, Petra's in no danger from me. She might get hurt by you, again.
What about Kidney Green Street? What have you done with him?
He's been gone for months. I took over the WWF and stopped coddling these mugs. I run a tight ship. How do you pronounce that phrase? Is it coup de grace? Coup de grace? I'll have to ask that Frenchie the deboner so I know next time I kill someone. Anyway, I'm about to give it to you.
It's not the deboner, it's the debonair.
Oh, shut up. Save your last seconds to think pleasant thoughts, because here it comes.
Stop right there.
Murgatroyd? Frankenstein? What are you fellas doing? Get out of the ring.
It is not only us, Regina. The whole team is here. Edward, Barnabas, Hacksaw Drac Bloodworth.
Jacob, Dr. Acula, leave us alone or you're all fired. No, that's not good enough. I'll whip each of you myself, then I'll have you shot, then you're fired.
We didn't just bring the vampires, we got the animal shapeshifters too.
Also entering the ring, hailing from Morgantown, West Virginia, and weighing in at 140 pounds, the Incredible Mister Limpet. Hailing from Llanwelly, Wales, weighing in at 160 pounds before transformation and 300 pounds after, Larry Harry Knuckles Talbot.
You no longer frighten us, Regina. Zildjian was right. We've been lashing out at one another when the real target of our bad feelings should be you, the real boss of WWF. We have been like rats in a cage match.
I already said the episode title. Why are you saying it again?
How could I have heard you? You were backstage.
All right, you win this round. But I'll be back. You haven't heard the last of Regina, the queen pin of crime.
Don't let her get away.
It's too late. I told you boys it would work if we stick together. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Join in, everybody. Don't be sticks in the mud.
It's a shame. She was a terrible boss, but Regina was the best lady grappler we had on the team.
What about Petra? As soon as we find her and rescue her, she'll be back wrestling for you.
Is he really that dense?
Rats in a Cage Match, episode 99 of This Gun in My Hand, was slammed into a turnbuckle by Rob Northrop. This episode and all others are available on YouTube with automatically generated closed captions of dialogue. Visit thisguninmyhand.blogspot.com for credits, show notes, archives, information on how to subscribe, and to buy my books, such as Little Heist in the Big Woods and Other Revisionist Atrocities. How do I pin a person to the mat? With this gun in my hand.